Good afternoon, Year 2, and welcome to your RE lesson this afternoon. Our learning objective this afternoon, we're going to be explaining how Christians celebrate Easter. So we're going to be listening to some information about how Christians celebrate Easter, and then we're going to be writing some explanation sentences, some explanation writing about how they do those different, about how they celebrate it and what they do on different days throughout the festival. So how do Christians celebrate Easter? We're going to know the key days of the festival. So we're going to be able to know them and tell me them and remember them for next time. We're going to explain what happens each day. So what are the facts of each day and what happens on each day. And the last one, we're going to explain how each day links back to the Easter story and why things that happen then link to our Easter story. So how it links to what we learn when we learn Easter story a little while ago. So first thing, we're going to start with our just check-in. So the first question I'd like you to have a go at with is, how many days is Lent? Pause the screen, write down your answer, have a go now. Okay, well done if you've done that. The answer that you should have put down is 40. So it's 40 days. Lent is 40 days long. Okay, we know that because that's how long Jesus went without food and water, is 40 days. So we have to go without something over those 40 days if we are a Christian, to give up for Lent, not obviously food or water or whatever, but it's to give up something like chocolate or crisps or something like that. Okay, next one. What is the creation story about? So we learned last term, last unit, lots of different creation stories. What are they about? Pause the screen and write it down. Okay, well done. And your answer should be that the creation stories are about the making of the earth, the world. So each different religion's creation story is about the making of the world, the creation of the world, the invention of the world, and how different religions believe it happened. Linked on with that, still thinking about last term and last unit, according to Judaism, what did God make on the second day? So think back to that Judaism, when we were learning about the Judaism creation story, what happened on that day? Okay, well done. And the answer should be he made the sky and he called it heaven. Okay, well done. And last one, this is personal to you. Where do you go to pray? So what is your special place called where you pray? If you don't pray, that's absolutely fine. Don't worry about this question. But if you do, if you go to a special building, a special place, write down now where you go to pray. Okay, and there should be lots of different answers for that one. So I'm not going to go through them all now, but it may be the church or the mosque or the temple or the synagogue or any of those different places. Okay, well done. Right, so back to our big question. How do Christians celebrate Easter? Let's get started. Let's get going with today's lesson. So, do you remember how Christians prepare for Easter? And have you heard of Holy Week? So have a little think about this now, write down some of your ideas about this and have a go. Off you go. Okay, we're going to find out about Holy Week today. And if we think back to last time, we remembered how Christians prepare for Easter by making pancakes and getting rid of all those fatty foods that they have in their cupboards, and they make those brand new pancakes ready to start Lent. But we're going to think about all of Holy Week this week. So some words we're going to be talking about are Lent, Ash, Shrove and Palm. And when you hear me talking about this word today, your thumbs up, so then you know that you've remembered it. And when we come to do our writing on your assignment later on, see if from there you can work out, you can use some of this vocabulary and some of these languages in your writing. Okay? So Holy Week is the week leading up to Easter Day. It starts on Palm Sunday, which is the Sunday before Easter Sunday, or Easter Day as it's sometimes called, and finishes with the celebration on Easter Sunday. It is the last week of Lent, so Lent starts from Pancake Day, then we have the 40 days of not eating or not drinking something that's bad for us, or giving up something that we shouldn't really do, or it's a bit naughty, and then we we leave that up to Easter Sunday. So the last week of that, of Lent, when we've given up something, we've had our Pancake Day and all that, is the week we're going to talk about today, Holy Week. It's the last week of Lent, and it's the time when Christians remember the last few days of Jesus's life. So that obviously is the week that leads up to him having those last few days, those last suppers, those last dinners, those last meetings, those last teachings. And obviously when we learn the Easter story, we know that it comes to the end of his life. So pancake day, use up all that stuff, use up all the things we shouldn't be eating, or make beautiful pancakes. Then we have Lent, 40 days of giving up something like Jesus did in the desert, like he gave up food and water. We don't give up that, but we give up something that we shouldn't really eat, or maybe something we shouldn't really do. Some people might give up spending so much time on their phone or on their iPad, or they might give up eating chocolate. And then the last week of that Lent is our Holy Week, and it starts on Palm Sunday. So Palm Sunday, that's one of our words. Palm sounds like palm tree, okay? And if we think back to our Easter story, we remember all the people laying down the palm leaves and saying Hosanna. So it could link to that. Yes, Palm Sunday is the first day of the Holy Week. Christians celebrate Palm Sunday to remember the day when Jesus rode into Jerusalem on a donkey. So that's when he arrived in Jerusalem on the donkey. And the people were so happy to see him. They laid the palm leaves from the trees, those big green palm leaves, you can see them in the picture here. They were so happy to see them. They laid the palm leaves down on the ground for his donkey to walk on, and they shouted Hosanna. Okay, so that's Palm Sunday, and it's called Palm Sunday because of those leaves. So we know the word palm comes from palm tree, also is the palm of your hand, this bit of your hand. But we're talking today about palm leaves and from a palm tree. And then remembering that Sunday, before the Sunday, Easter Sunday, so a whole week before when he arrived in Jerusalem. Christians go to a special Palm Sunday service at a church where they often receive a small cross. So this is a symbol of Christianity, and it's over here, the small cross. And we learn about the cross later on, made from palm leaves. In some churches, the leftover palm crosses are burnt and the ash is used the following year on Ash Wednesday, when an ash cross is placed upon people's foreheads. So the next year when Ash Wednesday comes around, before the Lent and all that kind of stuff, the ash is used to do a symbol of a cross on their foreheads. But that's only in some churches, not all of them. Have you ever seen a palm cross before? Let me know if you have. Then we've got Maundy Thursday, okay? So Maundy Thursday is the Thursday of the Holy Week. So we had Sunday, Palm Sunday when he arrived. Then you had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Probably a lot did happen, but they're not special holy days. And then on that Thursday, we call it Maundy Thursday. It represents the day that Jesus had his last meal with his friends. So he invited all his friends over, his disciples, they had a meal and they knew Jesus was going to die. They knew something bad was going to happen to him. But they sat and they ate and they had what we now call the Last Supper. So that's Maundy Thursday. And that's why, and it represents the day when he had his Last Supper with his friends. So during this meal, Jesus gave his friends some bread and wine, saying that these would be the symbols of his body, so the bread would be his body, and his blood, the wine, to help them remember him. This is very important to Christians, and it is now remembered during the Christian service known as communion. And they have some bread and they have some wine, and that represents the body and the blood, and they're remembering Jesus. Then, after Thursday, we have Friday. And Good Friday is a very important day for Christians, as this is the day that Jesus died for everyone to be safe. So he died for his followers, for his people that supported him, for his family, for his friends. And tradition on Good Friday is to eat hot cross buns because they have a cross on them to remember and signify Jesus dying on the cross and then living again. A hot cross bun is a sweet bread and it's often made with raisins and sultana and it's really nice toasted. Why do you think hot cross buns are eaten? Why? Yeah, because it's got a cross on it which represents him dying on the cross. Now, if you go into any shops now, you should be able to find some hot cross buns because they'll be getting ready for Easter. So try one and let me know what you think. So Saturday, not a lot happened. People were upset probably because Jesus had died for everybody. But on Easter Sunday, or Easter Day as it's sometimes called, it's the most important day of the year for Christians. This is when Christians celebrate that Jesus defeated death and he rose again from the tomb. So remember, they went into the tomb and it was completely empty. And then he rose out and he spoke to them and told them not to be afraid and to remember him, and he was going to heaven and he'd be back and he'd help them and all sorts of things. So on this day, lots of Christians will attend a church service on Easter Sunday, where lots of candles are lit to symbolise Jesus as being the light of the world, and flowers are placed around the church to symbolise new life. He was going to a new place, a new life, a new start. Easter Day is also the end of Lent, which means that people can eat the food they have given up for the month. So they can eat the chocolate, they can eat the crisps, they can go on their phone as much as they like. Christian families will spend the day together remembering Jesus's life. A special meal may be prepared, as well as giving Easter eggs to each other. Have you ever given an Easter egg before? Have you ever had an Easter egg? Let me know if you have. And again, they're all in the shops at the moment, so you can have a little look when you go there. So, Osterborn is a German word for Easter tree, and during Easter people enjoy decorating their homes with religious symbols and sometimes with symbols of new life. So they traditionally, it's a tree that's got branches that have got a few little buds coming out of them, and they're placed in a vase and colourful eggs are painted on them, and you can see in the picture a picture of that. So something else that they do as a tradition. And in Germany, people also decorate living trees in their gardens, as it sometimes can be still a bit grey and cold in spring. These colourful Easter trees add a cheerful atmosphere to their homes. The eggs can be plastic, wooden, and some people even paint real eggs that have just had the inside bit hollowed out. So your assignment today is on Teams, which you can go and access, and it has each of the key days in the Holy Week. Can you write me some sentences, tell me what happens, why we remember that day, so what happened in the Easter story on that day, and then also what we do in Christianity, if you are a Christian, on those days now. So on Palm Sunday, why is it called Palm Sunday? What happened on Palm Sunday in the Easter story? And then what do people do, what do Christians do in the Easter story now? Okay, on a Palm Sunday, do they go to church? Do they decorate the house? What do they do? So for each of these, you're going to write me a couple of sentences telling me about the Easter story and how what we do now with it. Remember, you can rewind the video at any time and have a look through the stories, and I look forward to reading your assignments. Have a lovely afternoon, and I'll see you later. Bye for now.